Walkers. The milk truck has arrived.
Milk truck. I hate the milk truck.
Yes! Woohoo!
Oh, what a fight. Are we bonking this guy?
Oh,
Good morning, guys, from beautiful British Columbia. This is the start of a very special trip. What are we doing, Scott? That's not the target species.
no, that's the bait.
That's the bait. So we're out here in British Columbia, the Fraser River, and we are fishing for giant white sturgeon. We're just starting the morning out. We're catching some fresh chums for bait. Unfortunately, this is a male, doesn't have any spawn in it, but
Use the meat in the head.
still use the head.
Small buck.
It's a male. That's unfortunate.
Dead though. Yeah, it's getting bonked for meat. It's a nice small buck. It's good meat.
So we did about 4.5 hours of sturgeon fishing. We don't know if the spot wasn't the best. We don't know if our bait wasn't the best. We did not have salmon roe. And last year when we fished here, we caught pretty much all of our fish on fresh roe because we were unable to catch any female salmon this morning for their eggs. So with the last hour of light, that is what we are doing right now. We are trying to get a female salmon in order to get the fresh roe for fishing tomorrow, in which we're gonna switch spots. The first one we just hooked was indeed a male. So here's what is going to help us catch sturgeon tomorrow, hopefully. It is a little past sunset now. We ended up with 6 chum salmon, 5 bucks, and 1 glorious female, which gives us much needed roe. So that's a big one.
Yeah, that's 8 or 9 feet.
It's a good fish right there, holy.
So what I'm gonna get you to do, Dawson, is to drop my kicker motor.
So what we have going on right now, what this spot is, the current is whipping around this way, the bend, and that's all fast, and this is one giant eddy right here. A lot of sturgeon are sitting in.
Oh, goodness. Oh my God. How big is that one?
10, 11.
10, 11.
There's another big fish coming up on it.
Dude, what the hell?
Dawson, come here for a sec.
No, I see that's a hog.
No, look, come here.
So they're here. That's the coolest part about this fishing. This side scan, you can just see all of them.
Yeah, that's like above 10.
Look at that.
There's another one, dude.
They're all fat right now. They're all fat. You're gonna get a nudge, right, on that meat. You're gonna notice it's gonna be doing that 1, 2. It's gonna dip down, dip down. What we're gonna do up here, they eat baits really well. We're gonna let them almost take the line off the reel and just jank that hook set. Have the drag. Up here I fish lower drag, so like that. Go up to it and knock the lever up. Reel down.
Can you do that, Scott?
I think I can do that. Make sure to knock the lever down. I have reeled,
I forgot.
and it's just, I'm like, I don't have it on it, but then Dylan just, whoosh, then it's like, yeah.
So we're pretty much set up here in this eddy. This rod right here, we have salmon meat. This rod right here, number 2, we have a whole salmon head. And then in this rod, number 1, remind me what's on 1 again? Meat. Number 3, we're gonna put roe on, but we gotta tie some roe bags up first. Now the waiting game begins.
Got skunked.
Indeed we did.
We're gonna drop. Everybody help, Doc. Help with line 1.
First sturgeon, Scott?
Took a while.
It took a
We
while.
got him though. Got one.
How's it feel?
Feels pretty good, dude.
Awesome. I think it's a big fish, by the way.
What was on that rod?
He's gonna jump. Get him jump. Quick.
Keep tension on him.
I think he's big. I'm not 100 on it though. Get a jump.
Tough to gauge size.
Yeah, right now.
But he feels pretty good. Pretty sweet just to finally get one, dude. So I picked it up, and I guess he was coming up, and initially he didn't really feel that big. He doesn't feel small now.
Oh, you gonna jump?
Might jump.
So interesting information for you guys. Last year when Spencer, myself, and Dawson fished here, the 8.5 half-footer that we caught, or 8 1/4 I should say, we caught right in the same exact spot. This is our first fish that we've hooked up in 3 days. There's some excitement in the boat right now. The fishing's been awful for everyone. Guides have been canceling trips. No one really knows why the fishing's so tough. The water temp dropped from like 70 to 50 in a couple days. That's people's best guess because this is supposed to be the best time of year, but it doesn't matter.
But we got one.
Because we got one.
You're ripping, dude.
For a run, boys.
Woo! What would you gauge on the size how he's fighting?
It's so hard to tell.
I'd say 5 to 6. He's dogging hard.
Oh yeah.
He could be. Oh yeah. Look at
Drawing?
that reel. No, he's off.
No, maybe not.
Oh,
He's still there.
Oh man. That's a good maneuver. Veteran move there.
Oh my
Veteran move.
goodness. I thought he was off.
Wow.
He was on
wrapped up.
something, dude.
Yeah. He either got caught up in a log or was wrapped.
I want to see this thing jump.
Phone already telling me.
Honestly, it's a lot like fighting a peacock. Holy shit, not really. Yeah, I found a perfect fighting spot right next to my nuts.
No, it is. But you can't get it in your nuts.
No, and it's not
game
in the
over.
nuts. It's
game
very
over.
near the nuts.
It's like centimeters away.
Yeah.
So how does this compare to fighting like, say, a Goliath or a shark? Because you've caught some pretty big fish before. Most people come
Yeah.
here and these white sturgeon are the biggest fish they've ever caught in their lives.
Yeah, I would guess this isn't the heaviest fish I've ever hooked. The Goliath, I fought on stand-up gear, didn't let it touch a boat. And that thing, I didn't want to touch a rod for like 4 days. I'm not at that point yet.
You're only 5-10 minutes in.
But this fish,
If it's a big
This fish
fish,
is
you
a-
got another half hour.
this fish is a badass. The first couple of minutes I was feeling fired up, and then I had a minute or two where I was like, okay, this kind of sucks. And now I've kind of settled back in. I'm doing all right.
Okay, maybe back around.
Back around.
Those are so gnarly. Look at that footwork, even on the ladder. He's been doing
Working the ladder
ladders.
last week.
He did his cone drills before he came here.
Oh yeah.
It's just not going anywhere, dude.
I told you, pull as hard as you possibly can and you're not moving them.
No.
No.
You put it.
That's all I've done.
You can put it between your legs.
Yeah, you put it
Guys, this hurt.
Very
Yeah, dude, it sucks.
Like his lower
I just
back
can't do
looks like it's
anything
just
right now, dude. He just pinned me down. No. He's like 5 people on the surface. Like, look at this.
Don't do that.
Just nothing.
Yeah, you're just not pulling, big guy.
You're just
Yeah, well,
not
I'm
pulling. You're just not pulling.
All right.
You're about to see him here.
Ready? No.
They're just not pulling.
Let's go, Scott. You're not
Could
pulling.
be big.
Yeah, it's kind of exhausting, dude.
Reel down.
He's honestly trembling.
Trembling in his boots.
If you put your top hat higher, it helps, man.
Ooh. He's rolling for another run.
Is he running again?
Yeah.
See him bring it. He's like, we're a good 15 minutes in at least at this point. Dylan,
now
how
it's
fun is
coming
it
in.
for you to guide sturgeon and watch people catch their first one and just get destroyed?
That's pretty epic.
It's pretty epic.
I mean, he's core. I mean, to the nine.
He's right there.
Oh.
That's a good. That's a
I think maybe when he
Is he hooked in the
popped
side?
off. Man, he popped off.
Dude, I
And
think he
then-
might have popped off the
I don't
time
think
he
he's in
lost
the
him.
side. I think he's wrapped around 4 times.
How big is he?
6 to
Close to
7.
Here, I'm gonna
7
come
feet.
back here, guys.
he's close to 7.
There's no shame in tapping.
Think of that.
Little transition here.
Good God. You see what I'm talking about,
Not a
dude?
small one.
No, dude.
You know, where you put the rod, the butt of the rod is there's really not a good spot for it.
No, you saw how I kept shuffling around?
It's like you're riding a broomstick from hell.
And the way he's like initially how he was
He's
riding
in the
it
mouth,
wasn't
but
that
the
big.
line
Yeah,
is
it's
wrapped
wrapped.
around.
So it's like right now he's like just dead weight. He's like lifting a log.
So our issue and why this fish is so incredibly difficult, we're pretty positive it's not hooked in the mouth.
It is a big fish.
It did bite, but then it got wrapped when it
Very
let go.
dangerous.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, we can't give him slack, I don't think.
That's a perfect glass too.
No, bait's in his mouth.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it's in its mouth.
Okay, so here, hold this. Hold this.
How is it?
Here, I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, the bait's right. Want me to keep it tight?
No.
Loose?
Is the hook still in the mouth?
Yeah, the bait's right in it.
Yes.
Okay.
I got him.
Okay. Got him. No, he's bigger than that, dude.
Yeah, now it's a little different of a fight.
Yeah, so that was a pretty unique situation. I felt pretty weak, but honestly it was because the fish got wrapped on a snag and we couldn't lift him because we were trying to lift him by the middle of his body even though he was still hooked. And Dylan got in there and got it unwrapped, and now we just have him hooked by the mouth. Right, we gotta land him.
So now we gotta bring this fish to shore.
Yeah.
Beached.
You're not that big.
Look at. So it's snout to the fork, Scott.
Yeah.
Scale?
Here, grab that. Bring it to the fork.
To the fork?
Yeah, this split.
The little, this has to be like this, by the way. This lays down the lateral line. Not, it just goes like this.
78.
Yeah, 78.
6'6".
Yeah, it's 6.5.
Oh, that's pretty good.
6.5 feet.
6'6". All right, get in there.
So we traveled all this way for the dinos.
Wait, are you on your one knee? Try to get your leg.
Well, it took 3 days. We finally got one of these sturgeon. It's been an insanely difficult bite. And this guy's not necessarily a giant, but my first at about 6.5 feet. Such a crazy looking fish, dude. Really cool to be a part of. Thank you to Dylan and Cody and Dawson for the land work, and it's definitely a team challenge to land one of these fish. Amazing stuff. All right,
Ready to ride her home?
she is super ready. One last look. That's an epic fish, 6'6". Again, not a giant, but a very big fish.
There's no matter how many you catch, there's no way you get tired of these fish.
Oh yeah. Yeah. See you later.
Yeah. Peace.
Dude,
That was your first.
awesome.
Cody.
Good work, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome.
Dawson.
Thank you.
Last
Dylan.
but not least, Dylan.
Good job.
Done.
Like 10
Hopefully that was the first of many. That was literally the first 10 minutes that we were fishing. We just spent the last 3 hours trying to get fresh meat and fresh salmon roe. After 3 hours, we caught a couple female salmon, but they didn't have any roe in them. They didn't have any eggs. So we have some fresh meat, and that one hit on meat.
Pretty much
Hopes
right
are
after
high.
too. So.
Hopes are high.
There's a fish, there's one, there's one.
And
Yeah.
these are all just little guys.
Here's about 5 or 6. They're all small, but there's
There's
a
some
lot.
big ones on the right side.
I'm fishing right here.
But